My name is Desmond, and Pit Fighter is my favorite Trashy game. It's a game that's considered by many as a bad game, and some people even say it's the worst fighting game ever made. And it does have some qualities that are considered bad. Digitized visuals, graphics are kind of crummy looking, even though they looked good to me back in the 90s. The animations are poor, the hit detection is garbage, it's rather floaty, the AI cheats, but I still like it. Honestly, I don't think it's a horrible game. It's actually quite fun to me. It's mindless fun. Around the time I was introduced to it, I already knew and fell in love with other fighting games. Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat 2, Vulture Fighter, various SNK fighting games. It's just something about Pit Fighter that drew me in. It just doesn't give a fuck. It sort of knows it's a trashy game and it will take your money. I remember the first time I played it, it was in a bowling alley arcade. At a later date, I returned to the shopping center that it was held in. I was shopping with my mom and I asked her if I can get some quarters to play at the arcade. I was so corny. I remember when I left the store, I was running through the clothing rack saying, "Pit Fighter, here I come." I remember running down the stairs into the bowling alley, then arriving at the arcade. It was a rather small arcade too. And guess what I saw? I saw that Pit Fighter was not there. It was gone. I was like, damn. I learned that Pit Fighter was released on Super Nintendo when I saw it at a supermarket movie/rental section that had games there. But I did not know it was on Sega Genesis until I found it on the Sega Channel. On the Sega Channel, the games rotated every month, then every 2 weeks. Some games would get switched out for different games. I woke up at 3 a.m. one morning in 1996 or so to catch the new rotation because I didn't want to wait until mid-morning. I remember seeing Pit Fighter in the list and I was like, oh my god. I played it for a few minutes, then went back to sleep. I woke up and played it all morning that Saturday. There is something I hate to admit. I almost stole a copy of Pit Fighter from a friend's house. I think one of the main reasons why I like Pit Fighter so much is the setting. The setting of the game is simple. You're in an organized street fight in the middle of a hostile crowd. You win, you earn cash, and you celebrate on top of a forklift in a warehouse. And I'm assuming these fights are illegal and secret, sort of like the movie Fight Club. The fights are set in really sketchy areas too. Inside of an abandoned warehouse, we can see pulley chains and boxes. In the harbor, in a grungy bar, in a subway, underneath the underpass, and I think this is outside of a prison yard. The final stage is a bit more upscale, but I'm assuming it's an abandoned office building or something. Every stage of the game, the fighters are surrounded by a hostile crowd. You aren't going anywhere until the fight is over. And if anything, they want you to stay. They will literally push you back into the fight. Some of the crowd members will actually attack you and you can take their weapon. Now, it's janky looking and sloppy in its execution, but it's still very immersive. I think that's one of this game's best qualities. It's weirdly immersive. If you live in an urban area, in a small or densely urban area, illegal underground street fight clubs can be happening and you don't even know it. So when you're playing, it feels like you're in this top secret underground illegal illicit club, and it's not even properly organized. I bet all the characters in Pit Fighter look very relatable too. It's like they all are short on cash and poor and need some extra money by joining the underground pit fights. The playable characters are Buzz, Kato, and Tai. Buzz is a pro wrestler that relies on power strikes and body slamming the opponent. Tai is a kickboxer that is strongest using his long limbs, speed, and agility. And Kato is a karate kid pretty much. Kato has a special place in my heart for some reason. Whenever I play 2 players with someone, I just pick Kato. Maybe because as a kid I was obsessed with learning karate. And I even joined a taekwondo class at the YWCA back then. You ever watch the little opening sequence that shows the big 3 preparing for the ultimate competition? I always liked Kato's sequence the best. It's so zen and filled with discipline and focus. Even the little part that shows him on top of the little mountain when it's sun rising and stuff. Kato wakes up at 4 a.m. to practice on top of that mountain. The enemies in Pit Fighter are either people I've seen in real life or people that I've seen in movies and TV. The executioner sort of looks like the wrestler Viano 4 when he was in WCW. Southside Jim looks like a guy I've seen at a corner store. He sort of looks like Michael T. Williamson, the guy from a few 90s movies, like Forrest Gump, Free Willy, etc. Angel, they try to make her look like a dominatrix. She kind of looks like a cracked out Paula Abdul. CJ Ryder, I think I saw a guy like that at a bar near my house. Heavy Metal, he kind of looks like a member of one of those glam hair rock bands from the 80s. Mad Miles looks like my old high school math teacher. Chainman Eddie, I have no clue who he looks like. He looks like he escaped out of a BDSM dungeon with Angel. Same with the Masked Warrior, who's the boss at the very end. It seemed like they got something freaky going on or something. Pit Fighter reminds me of a few movies I've seen. I think the most well-known movie that Pit Fighter gets compared to is Bloodsport, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. The setting of Bloodsport is more organized and not as ratchet as Pit Fighter, but you get the idea. Another movie Pit Fighter reminds me of is the 1992 film Triple Impact. In the first 30 minutes, the 2 of the 3 main characters participate in underground illegal street fights, but they're actually staging the fights to get money.
Wait a minute. What are you doing? 50% of that's supposed to be mine.
I know we talked about a 50-50 split, but you don't really think that's fair, do you? I mean, I am the guy that takes all the kicks.
You? What about that last kick you were supposed to pull? You almost broke my jaw.
Man, that was one kick and it was only half power. If I'd have thrown that with full power, you'd still be laying there.
You really believe that, man?
Hey, besides, you remember the combination coming out of the clinch, and then you were supposed to throw the roundhouse kick? You threw the roundhouse kick first and then the combination. How in the hell am I supposed to make that look good?
What do you think this is, professional wrestling?
You're probably eager to find out what about the gameplay I like in Pit Fighter. To be honest, the gameplay is janky, but that's what makes it special. It's a beat 'em up, but not belt scrolling, so it's kind of like a fighting game because you're fighting 1v1. Unless you're playing multiplayer, which is a lot of fun. Oh yeah, I never had a chance to play 3 players all at once on the arcade cabinet. It sounds kind of fun, but extremely hectic. I really like the Genesis port of Pit Fighter. I've tried the other ports, and they're trash. This port is good because it's very responsive and its gameplay is almost identical and exactly the same as the arcade version. And sometimes I prefer playing the Genesis port over the arcade version. It's less hectic feeling. There isn't any sprite scaling and you can see the entire environment quite easily. Sure, the graphics aren't as good, but it's good enough. Oh yeah, the music of Pit Fighter, I think it's quite cool too. It has a very lazy, sleazy sound to it. Kind of sneaky, but still energetic. Here are two of my favorite cuts from the game. You know, one thing that's funny about this game is when a character or enemy is KO'd, they turn grayscale. It's like you knocked the living color out of them. What if that happened in real life? You knock someone out and the color just fades away on them. I learned that there was a Pit Fighter 2 planned to release on Genesis back then. It looked pretty interesting. Too bad it didn't happen. I would have loved more characters, more features, different stages, different environments, different music, and other stuff. It seemed that they used some of those assets for that one game, Guardians of the Hood. That game sucks. You can't tell me that Pit Fighter isn't a better game than Guardians of the Hood, or equal. It tries way too hard to be deep and complex, and it's just a very, very just like janky and clunky game. It's just not fun. You know what game series that released in the 2000s that reminds me of Pit Fighter so much? Def Jam Vendetta and Def Jam Fight for New York. Yeah, it's more of a wrestling sort of game, but it still has the same sort of atmosphere as Pit Fighter. It's almost like a hip-hop Pit Fighter if you think about it. You know, it's the underground illegal fights, got the crazy crowd around you. It's almost just like Pit Fighter as far as the vibe and atmosphere goes.
Rip his arms off. What did we just see there? Now you're getting it.
One of my favorite things to do when I want to play a game and shut my brain off is to load up Pit Fighter. Just soak up the illicit setting of the game. Maybe whack a crowd member for attempting to interfere. Maybe slam somebody on top of a car. It just has this like strangely carefree feeling. And you can just kind of just do whatever you want within the confines of, you know, the gameplay. Pit Fighter is a bad game, but it's my bad game, and it's a bad game that I like, and my favorite trashy game.